Welcome to the Rhino Conspiracy. This might be a little bit different for you. We usually did it over the podcast system, which we're still going to do, but we wanted to also give you a video version of the Rhino Conspiracy. So join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30. Sometimes it'll be 15 minutes, sometimes it'll be 30 minutes, but I do appreciate you joining us every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can catch it on YouTube, Rumble, and all our streaming services. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to go over something every single day when we do this Rhino Conspiracy. And right now, we need to figure out why there was a spy balloon, a Chinese spy balloon going across the continental U.S. On Saturday, they finally shot this thing down. And as you can see, it was very, very exciting to watch. But the problem was, it might have been a little bit too late. See, as the balloon exploded, parts of that balloon also included some satellites, or maybe they were just a guidance system. We weren't really sure. But we did get to hear from President Biden on the fact that there was a Chinese spy balloon. And what happened to the spy balloon, and when did he call for it? Well, let's hear from Joe Biden and what he had to say.
When I was briefed on the balloon, I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided, without doing damage to anyone on the ground, they decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within the 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators who did it, and we'll have more to report on this a little later. Thank you.
Mr. President, what did you say about China? What's your message to China?
You were saying the recommendation was from your national security.
I told them to shoot it down.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
But the recommendation
They said to me, let's wait till the safest place to do it.
What does this mean for China, relations with China?
Now, here's the problem with what he said. See, he said as soon as he heard about it on Wednesday. Well, here's where the conspiracy starts. This balloon had been traveling over the United States before Wednesday, before it showed up in Montana. In fact, it came into Idaho from Canada. But even before that, let's go and see where this balloon started. This is the important part. On Saturday, January 28th, the balloon was first detected over U.S. airspace over Alaska. In fact, over the Aleutian Islands. So after it went through the islands and then hit the ocean again, why was it not shot down? Well, we waited again until we found out that it landed in Montana. It went through Canada, came in through Idaho, then Montana. And that's where the president decided that he was going to shoot this down. Now, what they said was he called for it on Wednesday. But of course, General Milley and General Lloyd Austin said, we cannot shut it down because of human casualties. They needed a certain amount. Well, when we found out on Saturday was it scattered over 7 miles. 7 miles. Well, why is that number important? Well, I want to tell you a little bit about where this was over Montana. It was over the Malmstrom Air Force Base. That's one of 3 bases that host nuclear-tipped intercontinental ballistic missile fields. Okay? Now, how big would you say Malmstrom Air Force Base is? I can tell you right now, it's a lot bigger than 7 miles. In fact, it's 13,800 square miles. Most of it, nobody is underneath it. So if they're telling you that they're going to allow it to go across the entire country till it got to the ocean on the other side. And here's the problem. 7 miles or 13,000 miles, we could have taken it down Wednesday. We could have taken it down Tuesday, and we could have taken it down the weekend before when it was over the ocean after it went over Alaska. All right, now here's the next problem. The Chinese are testing us. We know what this is about. They want to be able to take these balloons over for a reason. Here's what they're going to tell you. And here's what the government and the Biden administration is telling you. Oh, this was just a weather balloon. In fact, Mao Ning, who is a Chinese foreign minister, she said, well, it's not our balloon. It's actually one of the balloons that belongs to a company or a civilian airship. Well, here's the problem with that. Every single civilian airship is approved by Communist Chinese Party. So that's a lie. Second of all, they said it was steered by wind. It went off course after it left China, except we found out that they're able to steer the balloon with the mechanisms that were hanging below. Remember, we heard there were 3 busloads of this hanging below. It's been steered by wind? No, it's steered by a propulsion unit that actually moves the balloon to where it went. That's why it was able to go into Canada, come back down, go over all our military bases. Do you think the wind just happened to carry it? Excuse me. Happen to carry it over there? No, of course not. Let's go on to the next problem with this. This is going to continue on. And why would we use balloons? They're going to tell you that, oh, well, they have satellites. Well, here's the difference between what a balloon and a satellite can do. There are operational advantages to a balloon. Number one, satellites cost millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. They also cannot deal with extreme weather conditions. You know what can? Balloons. Way less expensive to deploy and easier to operate compared to satellites. Why? Well, here's another reason. A high altitude balloon has a lot longer of an endurance time, which means that you get a lot more wider coverage. You can move it wherever you want. What's the one thing you know about satellites? Ah, they're in orbit. They only go one way, they only orbit. Where a balloon, you can go up, down to whatever base you want. See? So don't believe all the things they're telling you. Everything that you're being told is a complete lie about this balloon. It is a spy balloon, it is used for spying on this country. Our president had an opportunity to shoot this down. These are all the questions that we're going to continue to answer on the Rhino Conspiracy every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. Listen, I hope you'll join us. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Extra 1063, XTRA 1063. You can find us on all the social media apps. We'll be broadcasting this every single week. Coming up on Wednesday, we've got some important information for you. Number one, the vice president will be here in Atlanta, so we'll cover that. But Tuesday night is the State of the Union address. We're going to cover everything that Joe Biden says. Every lie, we're going to break. Everything that he says that is not true, we're going to fact check it right here on the Rhino Conspiracy. I'm your host, Scott Rhino. Join me Wednesday for the Rhino Conspiracy.